Hi, Nancy Burt-Preece here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm here to share a really fun technique I just saw. Lisa Curcio, I've seen several people do it. It's called the twisted ribbon technique, but it's using designer series paper or pattern paper. So let's get started and let me show you how to make it. Here's all my contact information, my name, of course, my email, my website, the August host code, my Facebook business page, YouTube channel, and some Pinterest cards. So let me show you what we're making today. We are making this, it's kind of a fun fold card, and this is the twisted ribbon technique. So I'm just doing it in a fun fold. I'm going to try to do this in lots of different things because it's fun. As you know, I love the Season of Chic. I think it's a really wonderful stamp set. I'm not doing the dies on this one. And Season or Texture Chic, which is the whole suite, is on page 98 and 99 of your annual catalog. And then I'm using these fun stylish shapes dies on page 175 of your annual catalog. So let me show you how to make this fun and relatively easy card. So I'm going to start out, I always use the DSP and find the colors that are in the DSP or pattern paper, designer series paper. And this one has this distressed gold paper that comes with the suite and the beautiful Texture Chic designer series paper. So the first thing I'm going to start with is Petal Pink because that's the color I'm doing. And I took a piece of paper that's 5.5 by 8.5. I scored it at 4 1/4, and then I cut 2 1/8 off. So that gives me this piece that I have right here. So all I did is cut 2 1/8 off this side. So just so you know, I have the background is 4 by 5 1/4, which is your regular inside piece. So that is pretty basic so far. For the front, I tried different things and it really needed this white to carry through. So the white, because this is 2 1/8, the white is 1 7/8 by 5. I try not to do 8ths, but on this card I really had to do. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. This is 1 7/8 by 5. Then I have the designer series paper that I'm going to put on the front. And that is, let me check and make sure I'm right, 1 5/8 by 4 and, nope, this is by 5. Because this is 5 1/4. Let me say it again in case you're confused now. 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. This is 1 5/8 by 5. So this is what we've got so far. So let me show you, I'm going to move this to the side and I'm going to show you how, I saw this on Lisa Curcio, but I've seen it on other demonstrators. So, it just depends on what you want to do. I took a piece of, this is Sahara Sand and it is 2 1/4 by 5. I want to make sure that was right. 2 1/4 by 5. I am going to move my blades out of the way and I'm going to do the 5. If you notice, I'm going to go 1/4 inch. So I'm going to start at 4 4.5. Sorry, I'm having a little mind crunch here. And I'm actually going to open this up. I think it's a little bit easier. You can do it right. You could do it right in the track if you wanted. You notice I'm putting a tick mark on both ends. Now, you're probably like, well, why don't I just put a tick mark and then turn it around and put a tick mark? They don't end up in the same place. I tried that. It depends on what size your paper is, of course, how long you make it. So now I'm going to go 3.5. I'm going to put a little tick mark in the top. And the tick marks mostly get covered up. And remember, I'm making them with pencil. So if there is any left at the end, I can just go ahead and take them off. So I'm doing every 1/2 inch. Make sure you have a mark because you're going to need it. Now, I would use this piece, and I've seen Lisa and I've seen others use all different sizes. You can, width sizes, bigger, you know, whatever it is you want to do. I would do it on a light enough piece of cardstock that you can see your tick marks. Because if you can't, that's a problem. So if you can see that, I've gotten tick marks on both sides all over at 1/2 inch. Okay, so now I can put that away. So this is 2 1/4 by 5. Now I've gotten 5 pieces, and you can, you know, that's depending on how long it is, all of that. These are 1/2 inch strips, and I made them bigger so that you can kind of go off the edges. So these strips are 1/2 inch by 3 1/2. Now, this is where you're going to need your silicone craft sheet. And we do sell those in the back of the catalog. They are so useful. So last time I put the lighter part in the back. This time I'm going to put the darker part in the back. I don't know. I'm going to mix it up. And remember, it's double-sided paper. So I could use the other side if I chose. I love the gold part though. So if you notice, I'm going to not put the glue all the way to the end. But the beautiful thing is, if some does get on my silicone craft sheet, it will not stick. Okay, I'm going to start at the very top of this one. You notice how I'm going to the very top? And don't put it down because that's not where I want it. And I'm going to put it all the way over to that first tick mark. And this is why I'm using a little bit of liquid glue. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Put a little bit of glue. And I'm going to start the second tick mark and go to the next tick mark. Looks weird at first. You gotta just keep going with it. Here we go. Start with the third tick mark and this tick mark. Oops, almost got the wrong paper. Keep going in this manner. And then I'll show you how to put the other part on. I may not go through the whole thing because I think you get it. And I am going to go right here. You can hear my husband's watching TV and they're having some sort of something on there. I'm going right there. So now I'm going to pick this up. Now there's a little bit. That's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim it off. Be careful because it's still, some of it's still a little wet. And you don't want to move the paper. You really want it to be where you put it. Getting that off. Now I'll do the other side. I am looking forward to trying this with some of our holiday paper with the, you know, the holiday colors. I think this is going to be quite striking. So you'll probably see this technique again. So this is what I've got so far. I think I started it that way. Let me get all these extra ends and put them out of the way. So this is what we've got right now. Now I've got these 5 other pieces of 1/2 inch by 3.5. Put a little bit, mainly just in the middle, because we don't need it to go far. How do we get it to go the other way? We are going to try not to get glue all over our hands, and we are going to go the opposite. And so I'm starting from this corner all the way over. And I'll just keep showing you this part. Make sure you're going right there. Now see, when you look at it this way, it looks kind of yucky. It's like, well, okay, what's that? But once you trim those edges off is when it starts to look really cool. And it's just it's a neat technique, but the thing I love about it is how many times do we have all these designer series or pattern paper strips that we don't know what to do with? And we're like, oh, I don't know, what do I do with all these strips? They're beautiful paper, but I still have a ton left. This is a great example of how to do that. I guess I said I wasn't going to go the whole way, but I decided I am. And show you what it looks like to put the other one in the front. How do I do the end? I mark that right there and go right to the edge. Once again, oops, see, this one is still kind of wet. So I'm going to push that down a little bit, hold it for a second. The beautiful thing I like about this is once this dries, this glue just picks right off. And it doesn't stick to your paper when you're doing things. I'll let this sit for a minute and let the glue dry. While we're waiting for that, I did go ahead and use Petal Pink. I stamped off, then I stamped the shell, wishing you the best birthday ever. I can put some of the rest of this together. I love that distressed gold. Isn't that pretty? So let me bring this back in and put this together. This is that 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white. Now, is there a ton of room to write on the inside? No, there isn't. So if you have a big message, this may not be your favorite card, or you can make this part thinner. I liked it a little bit thicker because it was, you know, my first time doing this technique, so I wanted to make it a little bit thicker, but it's kind of a fun technique. But can't you see like red and green looking great with that? Red, green, and gold. I can just really see this be pretty. I'm looking forward to trying some of that beautiful Sun Prince blue and white paper because I love that. That monochromatic is so pretty. Okay, so we've got this ready to go. Hopefully this is, see, that's why I should have kept that on my craft sheet that I had out. Let me see if I can, and be careful with your scissors because you might get glue on them. So you want to make sure and get them cleaned off. Somebody asked me what kind of scissors I use, and the scissors I'm using are the paper snips right from our catalog, which is my favorites. I have several pairs, and I just keep getting more because they are so useful, and my people that come to classes really do enjoy them. They're very sharp. I do keep a separate pair that I use just for ribbon, not for cardstock. Okay, so let me get these little edges out of the way. Ooh, I like that. Isn't that neat? It does look like the ribbon is going, like it's a piece of ribbon and it's just getting all over the place. I'm just gonna set this in the edge here. And now, don't glue your card together. I've done that before. So make sure, I just kind of get a sense, I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the edge right there. And there you go. So, you know, which do you like better? That in the front or that in the back? I'm not really sure, but it is a very fun technique. So I hope you try the twisted ribbon technique. Remember, you can use, if you decide to use a thicker ribbon, use thicker tick marks. In other words, these were 1/2-inch tick marks for 1/2-inch ribbons. If you choose to use thicker DSP, which is your ribbon, if you want to do 3/4, then make your tick marks at 3/4. It's just fun. There is no rhyme or reason. I'm looking forward to making some of these, like have a card go this way. And I could have actually even done this. I could have turned it around and had the opening be like that. Oh, I just thought of that now and I already glued it down. So, you know, you really can, like, I don't mind that for writing on the inside, but it would be fun to do that or make this thinner. Oh my goodness, I am looking forward to playing around with this technique and I hope you enjoy it too. Have a great rest of your day.